I'm going to read something by one of my dearest and closest friends, Kathi Kamen Goldmark. I won't repeat what's in the program. Her life, her career has been incredibly eclectic. And my friendship with her has been as such. I met her many years ago, but the first time I fell in love with her was when she asked me if I would like to be part of an album that she was putting together of writers singing their favorite rock tunes or blues or whatever. And I got to go to an actual studio with other writers who were salivating because we sit in isolation all the time, and to be in a recording studio with a real band was better than sex. It was amazing. And I got to sing Steamroller Blues, and Kathi Goldmark, all on her own, with her little recording company, Don't Quit Your Day Job Records, produced Stranger Than Fiction, which was a compilation of writers who wish they could be rock stars singing their favorite songs. So that's a little story that gives an idea of what Kathi is like. I'm going to read a short story that she wrote for an anthology called Tales from the House Band. And hopefully I'll do a decent job. There's a part in here that I'm supposed to sing, but I don't know the song, so I'll just say it where Kathi can sing it. This is called The Ballad of Billy Quiver. We were in the men's room watching Billy wash the blood off his shirt when the bartender deadbolted the lock from the outside, imprisoning all 9 members of Lenny's brain in Marmaduke's Manatee Lounge at 2 in the morning. I like to think it was an accident, but who knows? The gig had been bad from the beginning. We'd arrived in our punk regalia to discover that Patcher, our lead guitarist, had pawned his axe and needed to borrow Rocky's spare Strat, which wouldn't stay in tune. Not that this mattered so much with our music. So we had not one, but 2 grumpy guitar players, and it was the contagious kind of grumpy. As the night wore on, it dawned on us that the club had been expecting a country western band, and we spent the whole evening feeling like that scene from the Blues Brothers movie when John Belushi has to sing Stand By Your Man. Billy Quiver, the closest thing we had to our own Belushi, improvised what he thought would be a crowd pleaser on Are You Lonesome Tonight? He stepped off the stage, walked up to a woman he'd never seen before, got on his knees, grabbed her around the waist, and begged her to come back to him. This playful joke was not taken lightly by the woman's companion, a naval officer and a jealous sort, which was why we were all in the bathroom watching Billy wash off the blood when we got dead-bolted inside the club. Before Billy Quiver, Lenny's brain was 3 girls, Carrie, Corky, and Moonbeam, fronting a 5-piece band. Carrie had a perfect look, alabaster skin, jet black hair, anorexic figure, and a rather high-strung personality. Moonbeam had the sweet, soaring voice. She was pleasant and unflappable, but too much acid had resulted... Oh, excuse me. Too much acid had resulted in an inability to remember anything that happened after 1969, including why we were in nightclubs in the first place. A house cleaner by day, she could often be found bussing tables and cleaning ashtrays instead of carousing with the rest of us in the band room. Corky, that's me, had the patter and the attitude. A streetwise, gum-cracking, who cares if there's a run in your stocking veneer. I'd been in a couple of bands and thought I knew the ropes. Combined, we would have made one hell of a front woman. As it was, we got by on goofy charm and cute outfits, with vocals nice and low in the mix. Everything changed when Billy Quiver wandered into a private party gig in a South of Market loft, grabbed Moonbeam's mic, tore up Good Golly Miss Molly, and poured a can of red acrylic paint over his own head for an encore. He appeared at the next rehearsal with a new outfit for everyone who'd been splattered in the fallout, most notably a pink plastic mini dress for me. He stole our show with uninhibited performances of rock oldies and screaming originals. He jumped off the stage onto people's tables. He dove onto the dance floor and Lindy hopped with strangers during solos. He sang Elvis hits in Spanish. He invented a rock hokey pokey that brought down the house. He was our ace in the hole. No one remembers who invited him or where he came from, but with Billy Quiver front and center, Lenny's brain started getting real gigs at prestigious venues. So what if they were midnight on Tuesday and we had to pay to play? We were on bills with bands we actually admired, like the Ruddy Buggers and LWB for Lame White Bitches. They were famous for booking gigs, promoting them with gorgeous posters, and not showing up. Their catchphrase, "We can sing, we can dance, and we've got no soul," made them all the more desirable. They were my idols. We made imaginative, inventive flyers. We had a small but loyal fan base, an independently produced single getting a little, very little, airplay on the local college station, and our secret weapon, the inimitable madman Billy Quiver. We made sure Billy wasn't bleeding anymore and packed up the rest of our gear. It was only when Patcher tried to walk outside to grab a smoke before loading out that we realized we'd been locked in. "No problem," said Rocky. "I'll climb out a window and pry the deadbolt. Then let's hope the door opens from the inside." But a look around revealed that the windows were protected with iron security bars, just as every light in the place went out. "Oh, well, we're fucked," said Patcher. "Oh, geez, the power must be on some kind of timer," said Billy. "We are so screwed," said Carrie. "I had a hot date." "The babysitter," said Moonbeam. "My dog," said Rocky. "I have a midterm in the morning," Carrie shrieked. "This can't be happening. Somebody do something." It was Moonbeam who remembered that there had been candles on the table along with the ashtray she'd been cleaning all evening. Patcher found his lighter, and I could see well enough to locate a phone behind the bar. "No dial tone," I reported. "It's probably on the same timer as the lights. Or maybe you need to dial an access code." Harry sighed. "There's a payphone. Anyone got a dime?" The payphone turned out to be broken, its receiver dangling on a twisted cord. So there we all were, 9 members of Lenny's brain locked in a bar at 2 in the morning. Had it been 2011, everyone would have had a cell phone, and we would have called for help. But it was 1980, and the world still depended on landlines. We were, indeed, screwed. "We could play a game," Rocky suggested. 2 truths and a lie. "Oh, great," Patcher said. "Then it turns into some kind of weird-ass encounter group where it gets revealed that Carrie and Johnny are sleeping together, even though they think no one knows." "No thanks." Patcher lit a cigarette and started poking around behind the bar. "Hey," said Johnny. "We are not," said Carrie. "Oh, come on, everyone knows," said Patcher. "You think we didn't see you two making out in the alley behind the Philosophers Club last week?" said Billy. "Are you going to believe me or your eyes?" said Johnny. "Hey, look what I found! Dinner!" "We're not, I tell you," said Carrie. We ignored Carrie's protests and pounced on the packages of Fritos and Slim Jims as Patcher poured us each a shot of Johnny Walker Blue Label. All of us except for Harry, who'd been trying to work up the courage to ask Carrie out, and went off into a corner to mope. "I'm cold," Carrie whined. Johnny took off his jacket and wrapped it around her shoulders. She shrugged it off, embarrassed. "I'm still hungry. Are there any more Fritos?" "No, but look, I found a flashlight," Billy said after rummaging around behind the bar. "I know what we can do," I shouted, suddenly inspired. "Let's run the tunes. We can work on vocals and arrangements, even if we don't have power." I didn't tell anyone my fantasy, that we would be like a scene in a movie where the band finds its groove under duress and rises to greatness. but I can picture it so clearly. The transcendence to another level of musicianship, the synchronicity of a big shot record producer walking by at the right moment, enchanted by what he hears through the window, the fame and fortune to follow. I used a big purple Ibanez acoustic electric. I called it the Eggplant for a couple of our songs, and I pulled it out of its case. Patrick turned it up and started to play Look at Me, one of Billy's signature tunes. "Aw, not now," Billy cried. "I can't do that acoustic. Besides, Billy Quiver don't need to practice." "Okay," Patrick sighed, patience wearing thin. "What do you suggest?" "Hand me that guitar," said Billy. Billy had never played an instrument in our band. He was too valuable as the crazed front man. So imagine my surprise when he started Hesitation Blues, with delicate, folksy finger-picking and perfect timing. I found a harmony, and we sang every verse we could think of. Then we made up a few ones appropriate to the occasion.
Oh, okay. Johnny and Carrie in the middle of the night. Everybody watched him have a lover's fight. Tell me, how long do I have to wait?
Yes.
Can I get you now, or baby, must I hesitate?
Thank you.
Something like that.
Can't do a gig with Kathi without her singing it sometimes. It's always great. Okay, not brilliant, but fun. And it killed an hour or so. We went on to Dead Skunk in the Middle of the Road and every old campfire song we could remember. Our bandmates fell asleep one by one, heads on shoulders, using jackets as blankets and pillows. Billy had just finished a gorgeous, slow, soulful Irene Goodnight when the last candle's flame sputtered down to nothing. I heard him rummage around a bit, then saw a beam of weak light, the flashlight, circle the dark room. The beam crossed the far wall, stopped, backtracked. "Corky, look, there's a door. Let's check it out." A flight of stairs behind the door led to the basement. "Maybe there's a way out there. You stay here, I'll go take a look." He took the flashlight and disappeared down the stairs. I found my way back to the others, rolled up my jacket to use as a pillow, and fell asleep at last, cradling the eggplant. A key in the lock. Early morning sun streaming through greasy windows. The janitorial crew, an aging Hispanic couple, looked as surprised to see us as we were to see them. But the door was open and we were free to go. In the scramble of collecting gear and loading our cars, no one noticed Billy's absence until we were about to take off. I'd been the last to see him, heading down the basement stairs. The janitors turned on the lights, and we looked in every nook and cranny of the basement. No Billy. The odd thing was there was no way to get out from down there either. So we searched the rest of the club, bathrooms and closets and behind the bar. No Billy. "He'll turn up," Patrick reassured us. But Billy didn't turn up. We tried calling, of course, over the next few weeks. His line was busy, then disconnected. Harry and Johnny went by his place a few times, but there was never anyone there. We pulled off the next couple of gigs without our wild man, but the band broke up shortly after that weird night. Carrie had been accepted to law school, and Moonbeam was moving to Mendocino with her kids and her speed-freak boyfriend. That was the official excuse. But without Billy Quiver, we'd all lost heart. 2 years went by. I joined another band, this time country rock, called Four Shy Guys. Actually, 3 guys and 2 women. I was leaving the house one evening, late for a gig, when the phone rang. "Corky, it's Billy." "What happened to you?" "I started painting, you know. I moved to New York to make it as an artist. But it turns out there are a few other people here with the same idea. It's like being online at the bakery. You have to take a number and wait your turn." "That's not what I mean. What happened to you that night?" "Oh, Corky, there were so many nights. Seriously, it's weird being an artist. I had my first gallery show last week. Instead of applauding and yelling for a Chuck Berry song, the audience just walked around looking at my pieces and quietly nodded their heads. So I decided to take requests, set up an easel in the middle of the gallery. People can yell out, 'Hey buddy, know any Matisse?' and throw $1 in the tip jar. Listen, I'll Catch you later. Look me up next time you're in New York. Billy! He was gone. He never told me what had happened to him that long ago night. What happened to me was this. I put down the receiver and changed into my pink plastic mini dress. I drove to my gig and plugged in the eggplant. I told the band to follow my lead, and I played Irene Goodnight, slow and pretty and soulful, dedicated to my old pal, Billy. It seemed like the least I could do. Thank you.